Good morning, Mrs. Sisani.
Good morning, Sislin.
Can you tell me about the tradition of inheritance once a woman's husband has died?
In some communities, if a husband dies, the male relatives, the brother-in-law, expect the widow to be forced into an arranged marriage with one of them. In some communities, if a woman resists that proposal, she's kicked out of the household and she loses the custody of her children, including the property from her husband. Some traditional people think because a woman is married and ilobolo was paid for her, it's like she is their property. And as the women's movement, we argue and say ilobolo was not meant to buy the woman, because no money could buy a human being. It was just an exchange of gifts between the two families to connect the ancestors to those of us who believe in ancestors. It was not meant to buy a young woman. So for most women, it's like, for most men, it's like, she's my wife, I paid ilobolo for her, she's my property.
How are you trying to change this?
We're changing this by helping ourselves to learn more about what the law says, because it is not legal for these people to look at women as a property, that as a commodity that could be sold and bought, because they have, as women, we have our constitutional rights, which gives us a right not to be treated as a property. But how many people know about that? That's a problem. We have what I see as the most progressive constitution in the world, but it is sitting in Cape Town collecting the dust. Not too many men, not too many women know about it.
So that's your mission.
It's our mission to go out to the community and actually create a space for us to begin a conversation about our rights and how we could protect those rights. In some communities, women have resisted white inheritance and nothing has happened. They did not lose their custody to their children and their property because they were smart about their rights.
And can the RWM do it by yourself, or can you get help?
The RWM cannot do it by itself. We are a group of 50,000 grassroots women, and we still need support from our sisters.
On behalf of the Rural Women's Movement and the Wairo Commission, which is a network of grassroots women's organizations working to develop their communities in more than 40 countries, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this hearing, to share our lessons and experiences from partnership to fight against poverty from 2000.
This place is called Abu Zulu Natal, situated in a remote rural area of South Africa. A place where, although women do 80% of the farming, They can't own property or afford to feed their children and grandchildren, whose sustenance depends on cow dung and clay. The tour guides won't take you to Abu Zulu Natal, and you didn't see it on the TV during the World Cup. In Abu Zulu Natal, unemployment is 85%, and the only transportation is a few vans that are referred to as rolling coffins, and where things are even worse for women than in times of apartheid, because women have to deal with the dual crisis of HIV and gender-based violence. And they generously and without compensation trek endless miles to remote and dangerous places to nurse and nurture victims of HIV, although they can barely take care of themselves.
Come to shoot, Stimela Samalache, Yashosholo, Simole Masondo Sondo, Ibuyam South Africa, Ikushis in Java, Ikushamawa, Ipetabam Shopinabam Yama, Yapega Yatululam, we are Tela Wenosulapo, Liliselam Liliseli, Liliselan Gane Africa, Yashosholo, Zainole Masondo Sondo, Yashosholo, Zainole Africa, Yashosholo, is Stimela Samalache, Shosholo Saba.
When Sisani was nominated for the Woman Leader of the World, she made a commitment in Silicon Valley that she would build the Indigenous Women's Multi-Purpose Learning Center. She has prepared and worked all of her life to build this center where the forgotten women of Abu Zulu Natal will not only be protected from rape and abuse, given care and medicines for HIV, but also given tools to sustain themselves and their children and grandchildren. These strong women, with their courageous, relentless, compassionate, and loving leader, Sisani Gubani, informed, helped, protected, saved, educated, motivated, linked together in the Indigenous Center, can, and I promise you, will create miracles of love and healing that will be an example for the rest of the world. Especially because of this woman who already has 50,000 women, strong, courageous, willing to work and change their lives and their villages. And this is our opportunity in our lifetime to see and make a tangible difference for our sisters that will also be able to offer limitless opportunities for their children and grandchildren. I know that you're bombarded every day by people that are asking you for help, and it seems impossible to really be able to make a difference. But the big difference here is Sisani. She has been preparing for this moment for 40 years. There's a plan, there's a land. She has people waiting to work with her. All she needs is some help from us. The center will cost approximately $2 million. And I'm asking you either to call me, send a check, or look at the information that is at the end of this video. And if you have any questions, my phone number, my email is there. Anything that you want from me to help her so that you and I can make it possible for their children and their grandchildren to also have limitless opportunities for a wonderful future. Thank you.
Somlandelu